Hello and welcome back to Football Manager for the final time on FM20. And today we're looking at 5 years in the future for Millwall and also for Boston United, because something rather interesting has happened with Boston. Namely, prediction I had at the end of the last video was that Boston wouldn't make it straight back to League One from their relegation. Now, suffice to say, I was a tad wrong, because not only did they make it, not only did they make it back out of the second League Two, they're now in the Championship after a small stint back in League One. They won it 3 seasons ago, and this is now their 3rd straight season in the Championship. Clearly I don't know what I'm talking about if I thought them going back down after the major exodus that happened, they were going to stay down, but they didn't. So Boston have now made it into this division, and arguably they haven't done anything that's, well, major since. I mean, they've changed owner, but that happened 2 years ago. That they were already in the Championship at that point in time, so it wasn't that. Nothing really happened to have facilitated this rise up the leagues. That is the manager that took them up, mind you. Shotta, not even going to chance of pronouncing the last name. He actually managed Ipswich Town before getting sacked by them, moved on to Boston, then moved from Boston to Reading, then Reading to Nottingham Forest. But yeah, Boston arguably haven't really got good facilities either for a team in the Championship. They need better facilities to have a proper chance at going forward. Competition-wise, they only won the Leasing Cup once, 2027. No other cup trophies, as far as I'm according to this at least. Having a look at the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. Second round of the Carabao Cup, didn't make it past the third round of the FA Cup last season. Same thing the season before. And the season before that, they were obviously in League One, got knocked out in the first round of the Carabao Cup on penalties, and in the Leasing Cup they got knocked out by Rochdale on penalties, and again only made it to the third round of the FA Cup. So nothing surprising being done, of course, in the retrospect. Now something a tad more interesting. Millwall still in the Premier League, but Millwall finished as runner-up to the Premier League title last season in second place. Massimiliano Allegri is the current manager, and something even better than that has happened. They won the Champions League in 2032. They won the Champions League. They were also runner-up last season. They also finished in third place in the Club World Cup. They won the Europa League again. They won the European Super Cup twice. They won the European Conference League tournament in 2030. But yet they still haven't managed to win another domestic cup. They've come runner-up in the Carabao Cup, and that's it. That's literally it. But yeah, they've moved into the new stadium now. It was for this season they moved into it, the Neil Harris Arena. Kind of annoyed they didn't put my name on it, seeing as I put them in the Premier League, but I'm not holding a grudge. Michael Laudrup is favoured personnel for a fairly simple reason, really. He was one that won them the Champions League. That's a simple reason. Jovanovski is now the vice-captain, as you can see up here. Mateus is now an icon, along with Tommy Doyle, who unfortunately did leave the club on a fairly substandard fee of not even £20 million for a player that we signed for a very large amount of money. But there has been also a record broken in terms of a transfer out of the club. And as you can see, it's here. Maximiliano Ferrari left Millwall the season after I signed him for the club for a grand total of £143 million. And then they brought in Fabian Ultrock for £99 million. So yeah, sizable fees. But yeah, there's an extensive piece of transfer dealing there. Annoyingly, a lot of the youth team players that came through the youth academy haven't managed to stay at the club, really. Yeah, as far as I can tell, there were no real, shining players that come through the Millwall academy, by the looks of things. Don't get me wrong, they've got a lot of young talent in this squad, but the majority of it is foreign talent. I mean, Mike Denker, brought in by me very early in his career. Yulla, still at the club, obviously, currently requesting a transfer out. Mateus, still at the club, he's now 26. Vinicius Leonardo, 28. He's still at the club, wanted by Tottenham. Jovanovski's 27 now, still at the club. Nesterov, 26. Terry Alexander, another player I signed, 25 now. 26 and 7 for Yildirim and Eduardo, respectively. Augusto is still 26. So they're getting on a bit in years, I have to say. But yeah, I can't deny it. They've done an incredibly good job. As far as I'm aware, there have been no takeovers in terms of Millwall. Nope, there hasn't. They did manage to win the Fair Play Award for the Club World Cup. Not sure if that's really that much of a consolation to them, but good going anyways. As I mentioned, they haven't won a cup at all. This last season they got to the Carabao Cup quarter-final before losing, got to the FA Cup semi-final quarter-final before losing, and beat Barcelona in the Champions League final 1-0, which is unfortunate, of course. But as you can see here, they lost to Paris Saint-Germain in the Club World Cup quarters before. Oh, it's the same thing still. I was like, why have they shown it twice? But yes, season before that, they made it all the way to the Carabao Cup quarter-final again before losing. They lost in the FA Cup fourth round replay before losing. And then in the Champions League, they managed to win it against Man City. And in that run, they managed to beat off teams like Real Madrid, Liverpool, Porto. And in their group, they had a very easy group, I have to say, with just Celtic, Valencia and Bologna. Comparing to the season after, when they had in their Champions League Real Madrid, Celtic and Shakhtar Donetsk. A lot more difficult in that season. Season beforehand, they were in the Europa League because they had a very poor start to life without me. Actually, by the looks of things, this... Oh no, it's not. I thought this was the season after I retired, but it's not, because they're not the same friendlies that I set up before leaving, and we didn't start the season with a game against Southampton. But in the Europa League group, it was a very easy group, I have to say, with Krasnodar, Feyenoord and Ludogorets. Very, very easy. And after that, they managed to get through by beating... where are they? By beating Roma, Napoli and then Valencia to play Liverpool in the final. And by the looks of things, Liverpool don't seem to be that big of a difficult opposition for this new Millwall side, except for in the domestic cups. Another big player that's gone is Lopez. He left on a free transfer, I believe it was, to Atletico Madrid after signing for £11 million. He's been wanted for the majority of his time in the last few seasons at Millwall by Manchester United, but no deal ever materialised, and he ended up going back to Spain for a free transfer. But I have to say, he was a very talented player, very capable, and after I left in 28-9, I believe, no, it had been 27-28 that I left, he managed to pick up a few more games, definitely a few more goals in the season after I left, but he didn't really fit in at his age anymore. 33 years old, he would have left at 32. Unfortunately, he didn't really fit that well into the squad anymore. So have a quick look at the records for Millwall. Neil Harris, most league goals scored by a player. Mateus has broken Florian Balogun's record of most goals scored in a season with 31. I don't think anyone's going to beat Barry Kitchener's record of 518 appearances by a player. Most league goals by a player is Richard Parker. Not sure why that's not also the same record for up here, but okay. Mateus currently on highest average rating for a season, very nice. Tommy Doyle still most assists. Mateus now most player of the matches, and Lucas Weatherby managed to get most clean sheets. Very nice, of course. And as mentioned, of course, Maximiliano Ferrari is now the highest fee received, but Weatherby is still the highest fee paid. I would like to have a quick look at Alvaro, however, the former highest paid player to leave us. Is it you? No, it's not you. You're Spanish. Is it you? So look. It is you. He's currently at SEP in Brazil, who left Paris Saint-Germain for this one for £15.25 million before moving on to this team for just shy of £26 million. And clearly, after leaving Millwall and then Paris Saint-Germain respectively, he did pick up a lot of goals. 25 in his first season, 21, 23, 22, 4 in this season, but he only played 3 games, and then 10 already in this season for SEP after just 18 appearances. I cannot deny that he's done incredibly well since leaving both France and England. And arguably he's returning to that sort of form he had in the first 2 seasons of his entire career playing football in Brazil for SEP, the team he's just signed for. So he's done very well for himself, of course. Just going back to the Premier League, obviously having a quick look at who's won it the last few seasons. Since the final season I took charge of, we finished obviously 3rd in that season. We've had 3 Man Cities, 1 Man United and 1 Chelsea win. We've also had Arsenal runner-up twice, Chelsea runner-up twice, obviously Millwall runner-up once. And in every season that Arsenal finish in 3rd, well no, hang on, don't completely ignore what I just said there. Arsenal finished 3rd twice, Man City finished 3rd once, and Man United finished 3rd twice as well. I was going to say every season Arsenal didn't finish 2nd, they finished in 3rd, but that's wrong. So ignore what I just said. But as you can see, Chelsea are the only outlier really since the start of this game. But in saying that, they've also had won it before in 2021. So it's kind of a bit worrying that since the start of this game, only 4 teams have won the Premier League, being Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool and Manchester United, with Arsenal only getting to 2nd place, same with Millwall, Tottenham only getting 3rd once in that time, twice in that time. It's a bit worrying for the capabilities of other teams in this division. But, obviously, things change, and in the future perhaps, a different team can win it. It is, as an Ipswich Town fan, incredibly frustrating to see that this 9-0 win for Man United still hasn't been broken yet. But it's fine, This record hasn't been broken yet with Jason Dezelle being the youngest ever Premier League goal scorer. That's fine, that can stay. But a lot of these records actually still are here. Dixie Dean, still most goals in a season. Berbatov, still most goals by a player in a single match. You know, that's an incredible record that's still standing. I mean, Stanley Matthews, his record will probably never be broken at 50 years, 5 days old. Same with Billy Meredith. I don't think that record have been broken. Or these 2 records from the 30-31 season with team goals scored and conceded. I don't see that record being broken anytime soon either. So there are some records that I expect to see broken and some I never see broken. Like for instance, you cannot break a fewest league something in a season if it's currently at 0. You cannot break that, it's just impossible. So Aston Villa and Preston will sit on that record forever. And also if you win every game in a season, you cannot break most wins in a season. So yeah, I don't think the 32 wins by Man City or the 31 defeats by Stoke or the 23 draws by, well that one could be. 23 draws could be beaten, possibly. Most points in the season, like I said, that may have been broken very easily. Fewest points, more difficult. Yeah, more difficult I think, that one to be broken. But Man United as champions, I don't think that's ever going to be beaten at 23. Man United at this point in time are going to continue to win titles because they've been in and around this area now for the last effectively decade, really, back up the top lot. I mean, they finished in 2nd place in 23-24, and since then only 1, 2, 3 seasons have they not appeared in the top 3 in that time space. and in that time space they finished, I believe, probably in 4th or 5th, or 6th and 5th. So, yeah. So 6th, 5th and 6th were the 3 seasons they didn't finish in the top 3 since 23-24, which is, I have to say, a tad impressive, I have to say. So, yeah, that is a nice quick look at how Millwall have done, how Boston have done in the last few seasons. And that's the end, I think. I mean, I'll have a look at the World Cup, I guess. There was a World Cup, I believe. I can spell, I promise. I have belief that there is a World Cup that took place between the end of the series and today. Yes, 2030, and it was won by Spain, with Portugal as runner-up and Argentina finishing in a 3rd place. I'm assuming there's also probably been a Euros then. And Europa Champions League, there we go, that one. And England have won it 2-0 against Portugal. And there's one also in 2028 I didn't see, obviously. But, wait, no, I managed that one, didn't I? Yes, I managed in that one. So, ignore what I just said there. England finishing runner-up 3 times in a row. That's impressive. And then finally winning the tournament in England in 2032. Let's have a quick look at this group stage matches. So the final was probably held at Wembley, to be fair. Doesn't actually give you the detail in terms of where they played the matches, which is very annoying. Oh, competition review. Oh, that doesn't help. It doesn't actually tell you where they played the matches, which is very frustrating. Stadiums. Well, that's in Germany, that's not going to help. That's all the German stadiums. Hang on, let's have a quick look at England's. There we go. Played at the London Stadium in London, so obviously the neutral venue. In the semi-finals, we had the City of Manchester Stadium for Manchester for the England versus France penalties, and Portugal beat Turkey at Anfield. In the quarter-finals, St James's Park was the home of the 5-1 England beating of Belgium. Romania lost to France 1-0 in the Stadium of Light. That's a confusing stadium to have in an international tournament, seeing as Sunderland, I believe, are currently in League One. They never made it out. Well, they never made it out to stay out, I should say. Italy lost to Portugal 3-1 at the London Stadium, and the City of Manchester Stadium saw Turkey beating Russia 2-0. Ellen Road, I've just noticed there, as well as Goodison Park and Pride Park, were homes to other matches. And I'm assuming, also Villa Park, another one there. I'm assuming there's probably not that many more matches to be played. Oh, it doesn't actually show that one, which is very annoying. But, actually, does it do? No, it doesn't actually show, that's annoying. Okay. But yes, I assume these are probably all the stadiums that were in the tournament, at least. But very well done to England for their 3 runners-up and then a victory. Took them long enough, I have to say. It took them long enough. They started in the 64 tournament, I think. They didn't show up for the 60 tournament because it was mainly an Eastern European and, well, continental European tournament. There weren't any island nations taking part in that one. In other words, England, Ireland, Manchester, Scandinavia, I don't think took part. And obviously France hosted it. So I don't think England took part in that one. But we took part in the 64 one, definitely. And after that we finished in 3rd place once. We got to the semi-finals against Germany, lost to them in England. Again, tad annoying. And then in 20, 24, 28 and 32, England managed to win. Very impressive. So that's it, I think. We're done. I think we are now done with FM20. And given that this video is being recorded on the 7th, I believe today's date is. One more quick moment, just have a quick look. Yes, Saturday the 7th of November. And, well, 1 week, no, 2 weeks, 3 days. And we will have FM21. Of course, I have the beta already. I don't actually have the beta yet, but the beta will come out earlier. I'll play a bit that first, get myself accustomed to the new game, the new features and all that sort of thing. and then I'll begin making videos on the 24th. The first one will come out on the 1st of December, and from then on it'll be a daily thing except Saturday and Sunday, just because of scheduling problems really. So every day from the 1st of December in the weekdays there will be a video at 3 o'clock and also a video at 5 o'clock, because I've changed my scheduling a little bit. We're going to have 2 matches per day like we used to do before with the longer videos, but to make sure the videos stay short it'll be 1 match per video but 2 videos per day. So suggest I was playing, as you can see there, Malmö and Corinthians. I'll play Malmö at 3 and Corinthians at 5, and then the time between 5 o'clock and then the next day 3 o'clock I'll play through the in-between moments to get to the next match. So until then, I bid thee adieu. Goodbye.